So the purpose here, there's a large building going in a couple of blocks away, and building excavation is beginning on the site very soon, and building will be beginning next spring. And so the purpose of this is to begin and kick off public engagement so it can start to inform how that building shapes up right in the center of the downtown of Halifax. And I was kind of nervous this weekend coming into this event. And I don't know how the experience of this is for you and your circle of friends, but like I've got friends who think I've sold out by taking this job. And I've got friends who think that this is the best piece of work I've ever done. And I've got friends who just don't care that I'm doing this job. You know, I've got friends who've refused to come tonight. And I've got friends who canceled things to be here. I'm getting emails into my little personal email from people all over the province saying a couple of things. One, like literally 3-page emails giving me their vision for this building downtown. Very detailed. A senior man who can't make any of the events sent through these big emails. Someone else emailing me, telling me the whole thing's a sham. Like, I don't know what's going on, but there definitely feels to me like there's something to talk about. Definitely feels to me like there's conversations to be had among us as citizens of this city, as citizens of Nova Scotia. I can't ignore this one even if I try. So that's it. This is the invitation to get into it today. And the purpose of today is about understanding the landscape. What is the range of opinion and perspective that exists here in the city before we begin to dive into the engagements that start next Thursday? It's almost like let's see the terrain before we walk the path. That's the purpose of this evening, and that just feels like common sense to me. Understand the context before you leap in. Look at the pool before you jump in the water. You don't know how deep or shallow it is. It's like, and if we can have an understanding of what the range and perspectives and opinions are across this community, we have a stronger foundation with which to move forward. So the questions tonight are around, what's the legacy and lineage of this conversation that's in the city already? What have we gone through to get to this point now where we're engaging the public? Where are we at? What feels important to say before we dive in and start working around this Thursday? This Thursday, we're gathering around the look and feel of the building that's going in, of the Nova Centre. So what tone do we want this building to strike right in the heart of our city? How do we want it to interact with the cityscape? How do we want it to meet the street? What are some basic guiding principles we can offer to the architect and the developer that could inform how we move forward? Over the summer, we're engaging across the province. There's 5 different engagements happening all over the province, which are really about how can a development that's going right in the heart of the city have positive impact across Nova Scotia. If we're bringing people in, if thousands of people are coming from all over the world to these large events, how do they come into the convention center and then go out across the province? What does that look like? So we're going to go and engage across the province and ask people, what would make most sense to you? You know your communities better than we do. How could this place have benefit for you too? And then we come back, October 3rd, we're engaging around the streetscape. What is it that we would like to see around the building on Argyle and Grafton? October 21st, we're looking at the public space inside the building. How would we like that public space to work? How would we interact with it? How do we want it to function? What would we like to see in there? And then November 24th, we're engaging around the convention center itself. And then finally in December, there'll be a final kind of, here's the summary of where we're at, here's what's come up out of the public engagement, and this is how it's been integrated into the building. So fundamentally, as Tim, Mary, I don't know whether this building is right or wrong. I don't know. But I know that it's happening. I know that it's going ahead. And we have an opportunity to influence it. Whether it's going ahead, whether we like it or not. And I hope there's a whole range of opinion in this room. That's my greatest aspiration for tonight, that we get to hear a full range of perspectives here. All right? But I know, in fact, my work is about not buying into the right and wrong. My work is about creating the conditions for many, many, often conflicting perspectives to come together. So we can start seeing patterns across public voice that can give some guidance to where we go from here. Check my notes. So I think it's probably worth saying some people feel like the amount of influence we're getting on this building isn't enough. Some people feel the influence we're getting is beyond their expectations. That's true. All this stuff is out there. It's happening. These are the conversations we're talking about. The purpose of these consultations is to surface public opinion so it can influence the development in the areas that I just talked about. And so the information we gather here can go back out into the public realm in such a way that it informs public debate. I really liked what you said about how we turn up here as a reflection of who we are. Like how we turn up in this room, how we turn up in these public engagements is a reflection of who we are. It's a reflection of our people. It's a reflection of our place. The dignity that we turn up with, the open-mindedness that we turn up with, the passion that we turn up with, the fervor that we turn up with is a reflection of who we are. So I invite you to turn up here and listen to your neighbors. You know, my Halifax, the place that I want my kids to grow up in, is a place where multiple diverse cultures and perspectives can be together without being at each other's throats. That they can be together, they can listen to each other, and they can learn from each other. That's the world I want to be in. That's the world I want my kids to be in. That's why I moved here from England, because I felt that possibility was here, whereas it was disappearing in my home country. So it's a real invitation to do that tonight. Yeah. Lots of notes, huh? Great. So just to reiterate, the purpose here is to understand the landscape. Where are we at? What is the range of perspective and opinion that we have within this city? What is the legacy of the conversation that we've picked up?